One more time.
Hey people,
Hey family, what's going on?
welcome to the new.
This is the Candlelight Conversations. We
What
trying something different.
up?
What you think?
What up? We here
Look,
for it.
is it good?
Yeah,
It's all right.
we
We
gotta
hope
let the
y'all like
people
this.
enjoy it.
Yeah,
Hold
the
on, wait,
ambiance.
let them
Y'all come on in. Come
come. We gotta
on in, y'all.
come on
Come
in
on
the room.
in. Hang out with us for a spell, just a little while,
It's a little spell.
just a little taste,
It's a little bit.
just a little taste.
Welcome. Okay.
So let's see.
Oh,
I got a little monologue.
don't you always?
We were, we've been. I put some out on Facebook. We got some good responses. You read them.
Yes.
Some people really got engaged. It was cool. So if anybody can go to Dennis Graham Clipper Dome on Facebook, I had some comments. I said the comment was, at what age should we have our daughter start to be laser focused on her husband and her family if she desires? That was the question. So I got some good responses back from that. And I like to get the different perspectives because there is no proper, perfect way for this process. There's nothing perfect. There is no rule book. There is no handbook. So I want in this monologue, I want to kind of set this up. We're just talking about regular situations, nothing extreme because there's always an exception to every rule.
Mm-hmm.
So if your daughter desires, it's a million different ways that you can approach this situation. A lot of times it's going to be predicated and based off of what is her tools and resources, what is her capability, and how hard is she willing to work, and then overall, does she really understand what it means to be a wife? So I know you are watching a lot of stuff on, online. You're seeing a lot of information. So
Instagram,
yeah, so we
social
do
media.
this next generation conversations. This part is not researched. This is about
This is real life.
right how I raised my daughter.
I live this.
This is not researched, y'all. This one is just about how I raised my daughter. But we've been looking at so many people online because we do a lot of studying, whether it be reading, listening to some audio or watching video. It's a lot of the sisters is one-sided. She knows what she needs him to do.
Mm-hmm.
She knows what his duties and tasks are. She knows what she wants his mindset to be. But ladies, we gotta understand that he has a nature, he has preferences, he has needs and wants as well. So what we're gonna do is try tonight to just put something on the table. And this is not the end all be all cure all. This can be made more efficient. You can give us a call, you can drop us an email, leave a comment and we can have a discussion. Somebody say, hey, Instagram. Okay. All right, so that was mine. You got something? So we just did the monologue, y'all. So you can go back to the beginning of the show and you can catch like how we set up the structure on this because there's more than one way to do this. So the people that just tuned in.
My monologue. What will my monologue be today? It's gonna have to go back to what you taught me, accountability. I posted that on social media today. We got to do better as humans in general about accountability. Accept what you did and know that there are consequences.
Mm.
So whether you, uh, for example, like a person and whether you intended for them to feel like you like them, but it came off as offensive, that's accountability. You gotta know that like what you feel is not what somebody else feels, or what you're thinking is not what somebody else is thinking.
That's right.
So you have to take accountability and know that yeah, I tried to make this person feel this type of way. They didn't receive it as that. You need to take accountability because you should have done it their way. It's not always your way.
Right.
You're not the only person in a relationship. You have to do an action.
Compromise, reciprocation. Yeah. Okay.
Right, so cool. If you're still on Instagram, let me know. Hey, Miss Rita.
Hey, Miss Rita.
Okay. So we're gonna dive right into it.
Let's get into
this is kind of heavy stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of heavy.
So I'm gonna let my dad ask the question.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there.
All right. So, all right.
What is a?
So what is a wife? Is what?
Yes.
My first question is.
Yes.
What is a wife?
So I have 5 topics concepts,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have what are those bullet points to go with
This
those?
is the subtopic under the topics.
Yes.
Yes.
So nurturing is one.
She's a nurturer.
She's a nurturer.
Mm.
She is nurturing to her husband and children if they bring forth life together.
Mm.
For example, they are married, they agree, or they decide to have children together, and then they start this journey with each other.
That's her. That's
yes,
nurturing.
It is
Okay.
nurturing. And then she is the first initial life source. Because y'all are the life source. But
She brings forth the life. Because we're the first life source. So there we go. No, it's
we
cool.
bring
It's cool.
forth the life.
Okay,
we
so
carry
ladies,
the life.
this is part of the conversation that we don't have often. She was with me longer than she's with her mother.
Very hard for me to
Her
understand.
mother
Very
carried her
hard for, me
for 9 months. I carried her from the time I was 12 up until the day she was born. And she was born when I was 22. What? So I had you for 10 years. I had you for 10 years. Yeah. Your mom had you for 9 months. Yeah. So we want to make sure that we understand that this is a reciprocal process. This is balance. We can't have male without female. We can't have the one without the two. Right. Okay.
Then we're gonna do want to move to the next one, right? Or
you said 5, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So being submissive.
Okay.
A wife should be submissive to her husband, which is connected to his nature of 1, respect, 2, loyalty, 3, support.
So that's his nature. Right. Those are huge.
Yes,
okay.
Those are huge.
You're saying that. Okay.
And then if she is doing these things, this is how this translates to her husband. Being submissive, recognizing the respect, the loyalty, and the support.
Those are, ladies, those are huge. And submission, again, it was bastardized. It doesn't mean he gets to beat you and hit you because a man's a protector and a provider.
It's not a dictatorship.
Right. It's not a dictatorship. He's going to govern with his wife. Y'all going to sit down and y'all going to make these rules together. And y'all going to reciprocate that back to each other, that submission. Okay.
Yes. So loving, we kind of, both of us went back and forth on this during our, I would say, we talked about this for 10 years?
Oh, yeah.
Being a wife for 10 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is the organic, intimate connection between a husband and a wife, doing things out of love, not just doing things because you're his wife. Literally putting passion behind it, putting love behind it, putting care behind it. The TLC, the foot rubs,
the extra attention,
or the home cooked meals, whatever that translates to your man, because different men have different needs.
That's right. That's right.
So yeah.
And listen, y'all, if y'all are hearing something and you can enhance this, please type it in.
Comments,
because this is not the end all be all cure all. This is just because we have taken a lot of calls. We've seen a lot of women up to 60 and 70 who still don't understand what it means to be a wife. It's not just being a woman. Every woman is not fit to be a wife. Like every man is not fit to be a husband.
Okay. She is a queen.
Okay.
The highest position in a husband's life is his queen, which is his wife. Okay. And I'll let you speak on that because sometimes.
So when we say, this is in the context of saying king and queen.
Right.
The highest level in a king's life is his queen. And then you can go down to his prince or his princess and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. But his queen, if we talking in the context of king and queen, the highest position in the king's life is his queen. And so that's going to be a reflection of him. So yeah, that's so one put that in context.
Right. So then teacher/leader, and then I have 2 different points on that. She is the first teacher to the children, which is the connection to both the husband and the wife's lineage. The second one is if she chooses her husband to be a leader, It takes a woman to fully understand leadership to properly pick a husband.
To pick a leader.
Leader.
Yes, you do. Okay, I'm adding on to
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
Like I said, if you say something,
Right, yes.
so I'm gonna make sure that the men can get it. You get the woman's side. I'm gonna try to cover. So a woman, if she is a woman, then she is capable of leading, and then she must know how to pick a leader because she knows that she can lead. Now, once she finds her husband, well, excuse me, once she gets with her husband and they get together, then she no longer has to assume that position. But that doesn't mean she cannot do it. Just because you can do something, that doesn't mean that that is your purpose. That doesn't mean you should do it because you can. We can yell and cuss out our spouse, but should we do that because we can?
Right.
That's not advantageous and it's not mature. It's probably not going to be healthy and have no longevity.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's it. And we can hit on other points. Those were the 5.
That was it. Okay.
5 big stuff.
All right. So did you have something that you wanted to ask me? You said something earlier. Um, what was that?
Was it on the show or in life?
No. We were talking earlier today.
I don't know. We talked about it a lot today. It was kind of all over the place.
So pertaining to what is the hardest part that you see about marriage, that you see from where you looking now, your vantage point?
Outside influences.
Yeah.
Us agreeing to something as a husband and wife.
Yeah.
And then a old source or new source coming in and trying to taint or alter what we've already agreed on because it doesn't fit how they see marriage should work.
Mm-hmm.
That would be one of the hardest things for me. Also, family. Being around family and doing things differently can come at a cost. You will be scrutinized. It will be weird. People won't talk about you. But long term, it'll pay off. You got to make sacrifices now so you could benefit in the future.
So the outside influences. So now we didn't have social media.
Yeah.
I can listen, y'all. That social media is a beast as far as negativity in a relationship. Mm-hmm. Social media can be a beast in a relationship. It can have a very negative impact. So when we were coming up, the closest thing we had to communicating, like with a cell phone, was a pager. So we had to stop. We had to stop and go to a payphone if you weren't at home to return the call. So there wasn't instantaneous. Like now, you can call somebody and they'll get upset because it took you an hour or two to return a call. Back in our day, it could take 4 or 5 hours, and then it's just what it was. I mean, you was out doing your thing.
They didn't know the original time that you contacted them.
Yeah. So we just knew that we got a page. So we'll return that call. But now, because it's so instantaneous, because you can do a FaceTime, because you could do an email, you can do a Snapchat, you could do a TikTok, you could do a YouTube video, you can do all these other forms of communication, and you expect somebody to respond instantaneous. So that I can see how that's a monster. We didn't have those arguments, like you didn't call me right back. We couldn't have those arguments. Yeah. That's a beast.
If you're still on Instagram or any social media platform, let us know that you're still there so we can acknowledge you. Or if you have a question,
please chime in.
Let us know. Comments, concerns. My outlook on social media and relationships. Anyone that knows me knows that I don't post who I'm with for a reason because things can get sticky, drama. People can create these false timelines of whenever y'all got together or when y'all started fooling around or when this picture was taken. It just creates this false sense of reality. Now we have filters, we have editing apps, we have like cyberbullying, and things of that nature. And that's a real thing, especially in a relationship. You have to consider your spouse's feelings, what you post. Most women aren't thinking about that. If you are posting some provocative things, your man might not appreciate that. And if you're not considering him After a certain period of time,
if it's provocative, I guarantee you 90% of the time he won't like it.
If he's a man. Now,
yes, right.
If a young boy, he can be like, yeah, babe, post that.
If he's not into you, oh, you can do whatever you want. Yeah.
So I would just caution. There are levels to like relationships, the talking stage, well, the butterfly stage. These are not like set in stone. The butterfly stage, talking stage, dating stage, actually in a relationship, both families get to meet each other. There are levels. So you can't just be all out there with it when you want like a top tier level. You at the lower level, that's cool. But if you vibrate on a higher frequency, you should probably consider your content of what you're posting on social media. That's my take.
That's your take
so far.
I'm thinking. Yeah. I could. So as far as
we have to go back.
We have to go back.
The initial question.
All right.
For one of the shows, you asked me what is your wife, and then I answered and I did subtopics. So I'm gonna go back over how I got to the points that I got to. So she is worthy. She is not independent. Key phrase, not independent. She is accepting. She is loving. She is a caretaker. She is mature. She is submissive. She is attractive. She is a partner. She is a companion. She is a queen. She is a leader. She is a positive opposite of her man. And then she's a lover. So those were mine. That's how my mind was working. All of that.
All right. So all right. So from a woman's perspective, what are the biggest problems that you see that's keeping women and females from becoming wives? Because those are two
independent
different.
complex.
Okay, go ahead into that. Take your time. You want me to start?
No. I'm trying to pull back the layers. I'm trying to give people time to digest what I'm about to say. Okay. Organically and originally, we were created for the males. It's the opposite. Everything in life has an opposite.
Yes.
We were created to help reproduce the opposite sex. Nowhere in the original plan was it to say that the woman was supposed to stand alone. We talked about this the last show. Cavemen had to prove their strength, agility, endurance, their provision, all that manhood by hunting. And we don't also talk about this, but so did the women. Yes. We weren't just all born and had privilege. Everybody had to prove purpose. Their own key.
Yeah. Some expectations, accountability to the elders.
Yeah. There wasn't in most fairy tales, you meet the grandparents and it's all good. Everybody's wealthy, happy, grandparents in a good space. They got so much money, they don't care. But in real life, a lot of people have put a lot of things into these people. And when you walk up, they're like, who is this trying to take my prized possession? It's like going to a pyramid and going deep, like 10 levels down in the pyramid and be like, oh yeah, I got a bachelor's degree. They're going to be like, yeah, no. Go back up there with the tourists and take your picture.
Say yeah, no.
That's not even, you're not even on this level. That. You know what I'm saying? It's like there are definitely levels to relationships, marriage, adulthood, womanhood, manhood. And I think a lot of times we just throw that word out there loosely. And I'll make this very personal so people won't take a personal attack. When people say, oh yeah, because my Instagram name is Queen Amir. Y'all, I have not always been a queen. Let's go there. There have been some times where I was just a chick. I was just Iman. But I had to do the work, make some sacrifices, talk to some elders, get around some grown women that have been married, did that, done that, and then I have acquired these skills. And it's not just something we just throw out there. It's not like, oh, yes, queen. You have to
or somebody said something.
That's that.
They join in. Or...
Hey. Oh, wait. What's going on? So Yeah, there are things that you have to achieve. It's not just something that you just get labeled as. Like manhood is not something that you automatically acquire when you're 21.
And over 6 feet tall. That's right. So it's like a job, good people. If you go on one of the job websites and it says that the requirements is a PhD and you have to have 5 years experience. Not only do you have to have a PhD, you need to have the 5 years experience. Those are the prerequisites. Those are the qualifications for the title for that job. Same thing like a husband and a wife. There are qualifications. You just don't arrive because you're a woman, you get to be a wife, and because you're a man, you get to be a husband. These are specific titles. So if you have the best general practitioner known to man, I'm talking about a doctor, and he or she is just, they're checking your vitals, they're making sure you're healthy. If they find some problems with your heart, they send you to a cardiologist. The cardiologist is a specialist. They're above a general practitioner. That's a different title, but they both are still doctors. It's just a higher level. It's just like the same thing as if you were an adult, and then when you become a parent, you're still an adult, but just being a parent is just a different status than just being a regular adult. Now you're gonna have to be held accountable to a higher standard for discipline and respect, and to take care of this child's life for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
They're different titles. So yeah, I don't want to just think that we could just wash over this real lightly.
Right.
It's much more serious.
Right. I'm gonna go back to the concept submission because it gets misconstrued.
Yeah.
It's not a dictatorship. It's
No.
not like your man is telling you what to do, when to do it, how to do it.
Barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen.
Yeah, he's not.
Shut up. Yeah.
You don't wake up, he plans out your whole day, and you just do exactly that. Most women think that submission is against the grain, but that's really what we were supposed to do. We have to go back to, again, I'm gonna always use this caveman mentality, because when it came time for the bear to come in the cave, women weren't running out their beds like, don't worry, babe, I got it. Right. No, we was in the back like this, just like candles, like, what they gonna do? Like, they gonna kill him? But like, right. So like, submission is also listening. Like, hey, give me this spear, give me this jug of water, or whatever was
necessary at that time.
Mm-hmm. To proceed life. Like, this was survival at this point. It wasn't like, oh, we finna get out this cave, go up the street 2 miles, and go get my Louis bag or whatever. We had to communicate on survival. And if there was someone, if you go back in history, if you did not listen or you were not a part of the tribe, there was exile. That's where that came from. Yeah. We learned that in Lion King. Hello, exile, deception, disgrace. There's a whole song that we just kind of skip over and glorify, but like, when you really think about it, it's like, okay, most women don't understand that listening is a part of submission. Hey,
absolutely,
let me listen to what this man is actually saying, so we can better our lives. Like, he might see something different in a situation, ladies, that we don't see. Like, we might think he tripping, but his manly instinct might say, we don't need to be here, we gotta go. It's time for us to move on. You're gonna have to text your friends later and be like, hey, I have some family coming in town, we at X, Y, and Z. We gotta listen to that, because that can put us in situations both of us could be put in jail, not alive anymore, or certain people have to be called because we weren't listening. Submission is listening. Understanding order. I'm gonna let you handle that one, because that's really a man translation, because women we don't understand.
So what I want to say to that, I'm gonna hold on to the order. Don't forget.
Yes, I'm gonna write that down.
I want to go back to when you started.
Yeah.
So you said the caveman, because we going back, like you saying, tens of thousands of years. This is how long.
Basic form of life.
Right. This is how long this has been happening.
Yeah.
So
if you're on any social media platform, send us some hearts, a thumbs up, or whatever, so we can
let you
engage.
know.
Yeah.
All right. So it's been like at least 10,000 years, right? So
Yeah.
this is how long we've had these situations and circumstances. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Some people say, well, we're in the highest technological point in mankind. That's
But
fine.
are we?
Yes, we are.
But I'm saying, like, really, are we?
But okay, so what I'm saying is, even in that, the trees still in the ecosystem. They work with the flowers. They work with the bees. They work with the birds. They work with the water. They work with precipitation. Yes. Yeah, precipitation that brings us the rain. They give us the crops so we can get the food. Yes. That's never changed, and you can't change that. You won't change it. Well, you can try to change that.
Right. I mean, but I'm saying that's gonna be there. It's always that's gonna be a constant. That's the constant.
So you can try to change it with technology. And how's that going to work out for you? That's really my question. Good luck with that. So I just wanted to go into. Some people will say that it's a different day. It's not 10,000 years ago, but there are things. Well, excuse me. The majority of the things that support our life for us to survive have been here since the beginning of mankind. Mm-hmm. So that's my piece on that. Yeah. So now you said order. Ooh.
Because that has a lot to do with marriage.
Oh my.
And being a wife.
Oh my.
That's the subject.
So I'll go here with that.
Be light. Don't.
I'm gonna use a car.
Don't.
Can I use a car?
Don't do a Buick.
Can I do the car?
Sure.
Car. So.
Do a Buick or say.
It's like a car, y'all. Yeah. So the most important thing on a car, most people probably would say, what you think?
Probably the engine.
There you go. So now this is how a family unit in a community operates. So if the engine is the most important part, what is the engine without the key? You have to start the car.
Don't ask me.
So let's say we take the key away. Let's say you hotwire the car. You take the wires and you get them together and you start the car. Now you're going to need power. You're going to need a battery. So now the battery is the most important thing. So after the battery gets the power from the ignition and then the car is trying to start, then you're going to need that alternator to kick in. Mm-hmm. So then when the alternator kicks in, if you want to put the car in drive, then you're going to need the transmission. Then after you get the transmission, in order for the car to propel itself with the power from the engine and the power from the transmission, you're going to need those axles to turn the wheels so that the wheels can make the car mobile. So what I'm saying to you is there's no one part more important than the other. Because when you remove one major component, then it's no longer a vehicle. It's just a piece of sculpture. It's just a hunk of metal. It's a hunk of aluminum. It's no longer a vehicle because a vehicle propels you to take you where you want to go. So when I look at it like that, an order, there's an order to a family, a neighborhood, a community, a nation. Yes. So I wanted to go away from the relations. Now we can go back.
Right.
So order is the man is the engine. The woman is the transmission. Right. So we'll keep going like that. So there's no more important part because if you get a $2 million engine and the transmission won't engage the engine, the car cannot move.
Can't go nowhere, people.
I called Bishop, and
yes.
Yeah, so I was talking to him and First Lady there in the car.
Shout out to him.
And I called, yes, no doubt. Congratulations.
Yes.
First Lady and Bishop, congratulations.
Yes.
So I said to them, I said, you see these magnificent skyscraping bridges across the skyline. Beautiful. Right. So it's like a monumental architectural sculpture.
So people don't ever look up under the bridge.
Right. Yes. People, okay, yes. So maybe somebody won't.
Yeah, for sure.
So up under that bridge, there's some very large boats. People never take pictures of those very large boats that keep that steel and that concrete in place. So even though you have this beautiful bridge that decorate this skyline, at the end of the day, if you take those boats out, guess what's going to happen to that bridge? It's coming down. That's the woman. Okay. We try to bastardize submission and a woman's position, but I'm telling you, ladies, you got the power. You are the support. You are the massive support. If you are not supporting that bridge, if you are not that transmission to that engine, we have nothing. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Leave on the bridge.
Yeah, we okay. All right, we want y'all to take this. We want you to test this. We want you to try this. Take it to the barbershop or take it to the hair salon. Take it to the job or take it to the church. Remember, you don't have to like it, believe it, or understand it. Sometimes you just have to respect it. This is the Clipper Dome Chronicles. Thank you.